Wi-Fi connection, and so I didn't get the story time, but we're going to start over with the story once some people get here and find me again. So I probably needed to just do the story time part, just the story for story time to record it for you all. So I hope that you'll find me back on here in a minute. So here we are. I'm just waiting. Going to give you all a minute to find me. So I'm back. We're going to just do the story. We've done the chat. Hi, John London. Thank you for coming back. What happened was apparently my Wi-Fi went out a minute. And every time I touch the screen, I seem to lose sound. It's a glitch here with YouTube. There's no way to fix it. It's happened before. And so I try not to touch the screen, but I had to touch it just because I lost connection to just keep using Wi-Fi. And even that caused me to not be able to have it. So we'll give people just a minute or two and then see if they make it. And I'll go ahead and with the story. Okay. Just the story. That's all we're going to do. It's just the story, but I'll give people just a minute to find me. And yeah. The Grinch is about ready for me to start cooking lunch here. So it won't be long. I'll start cooking lunch after this, doing some work. So we're going to be going back to Under the Moon, and I'll start over again. Thank you so much for the hearts. So, Kim, hello. You made it for story time. I'm glad that you're here. I was on the computer for an hour and a half talking about codependency. So you may want to watch that. He does like to chew my hair. I was on here about what, an hour and a half, John London, talking about codependency. Then I lost connection to the internet, and then I had to touch the screen, and then I lost everybody. So I had to come back in because I'm just going to do the story. So the good news is you just get to hear the story and see if you relate with it. Hi, Smoothie the cat here for the parrot. So we're going to start in just a minute because John was here before, and I thank you, John, for coming back. I know, what a morning. It's year's been crazy. How's Mom? I hope Mom's doing well. I thank you all for being here. We're going to get started in just a minute with story time, okay? Thank you. All right. John, I appreciate you coming back for the story. The story is called Under the Moon, and I'm going to start with the story over, but not the whole thing before we got to story time, okay? So I want you just to relax where you are right now. Take a deep breath in. Well, good. Just relax right now. We're going to hear the story, and let me know if you all relate. I really appreciate you sharing stories and insights. Thank you, John London. I appreciate you being here. So we're about to get started. One more minute, and then we're going to start, okay? I'm glad you're doing well, Kim. And yeah. So we'll get started in a minute with the story called Under the Moon. All right. So the moon was full that night. Take a deep breath in. Think about the moon. The moon was full last night, right? It's going to be full again probably tonight. I do appreciate you, Anonymous Code. I do. I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. Y'all ready for story time? Yeah. Take a deep breath in and just be calm. And then release. Okay. I know, John, you heard the first part, but we didn't even get to the second story yet. So the moon was full that night, wide and luminous, hanging low enough to feel personal. Y'all let me know if y'all relate. Okay, Lena sat alone on the back steps of her apartment, knees pulled to her chest, wrapped in a sweater, even though the air was warm. Her hands were clasped so tight that her knuckles had gone pale. She looked at the moon as though it were an old witness to all the versions of herself she had tried to become. Please, she whispered into the night, I just want peace. Not a bigger house, not a better relationship, not more validation, just peace. Peace from the constant second guessing, from the way her mind replayed every conversation like evidence in a trial. Did I say too much? Did I upset him? Should I have stayed home? Why do I feel guilty all the time? Even when nothing was wrong, something inside of her always felt wrong. Thank you all for being here. Now, there's a male version and a female version. So, whoever you are, just hang in here. Elena had spent most of her life with the quiet belief that she was not enough. You feel that, John London? Yes. I felt it too. That's why I can write this stuff. Elena had spent most of her life with the quiet belief she was not enough, not lovable enough, not secure enough, and not chosen enough. She had become highly skilled at adjusting herself. Be easier, be prettier, be less emotional, be more helpful, need less, give more. In relationships, the pattern became her identity, right? Alternate account. She called it love, but lately it no longer even felt like love. Yes, exactly. Be more likable. It felt like exhaustion. Hello, Carlos from Los Angeles. Good to see you. She loved her partner, Daniel, but somewhere along the way, she had stopped existing inside her own life. If he was upset, her nervous system went on high alert, high alert. If he seemed distant, she spiraled. If he wanted space, she interpreted it as danger. Even the simple things had become hard. Her friends still invited her out, but going anywhere without Daniel now filled her with dread. Hello, Ashley and Carlos, and thank you, Carlos, and alternate account. Yes. Yes, see, you get it. On the rare night she forced herself to say yes, she spent the entire evening disconnected from her body. When her friends laughed over dinner, Elena checked her phone repeatedly. Was he okay? Did I stay out too long? Should I go home? She could be physically present and emotionally absent at the same time. My bird's called Grinch, Ashley. Her anxiety had become her second skin. By the time she got home from these outings, she was more exhausted than before she left. One afternoon, while venting to an older coworker about her anxiety and guilt and constant fear of upsetting people, the woman paused and gently asked, "Have you ever heard of CODA?" Elena frowned. "No." Codependence Anonymous. And the word made her recoil internally. She was just like, codependent? No, that couldn't be right. She wasn't needy. She was independent, responsible, and caring. At least that's what she had always told herself. Still later that night, curiosity won. She searched it online. As she read through the descriptions, her chest tightened. People pleasing, fear of abandonment, difficulty knowing your own needs, emotional over responsibility, seeking safety through relationships. Yeah, it felt as though someone had quietly been narrating her life. The next week, trembling and nearly turning her car around 3 times, Elena walked into her first CODA meeting. The room was ordinary. Metal folding chairs, coffee, soft lighting, and nervous smiles. Nothing dramatic. And yet, sitting there still felt more terrifying than any breakup ever had. Because for the first time, she was in a room where there was nowhere to hide behind being helpful, agreeable, or fine. She hated it at first. Not the people, just the discomfort, the silence, the unfamiliarity of being asked what she felt. Who even asked that? Weeks passed, then months, and something subtle began shifting. At first, it was almost invisible. She stopped apologizing for tiny things. She paused before automatically saying yes. She began noticing how often she had abandoned herself. Not without judgment, just with awareness. During one meeting, someone shared, "You can care about people without carrying them." The sentence landed in Elena like a stone dropped in still water. ripples everywhere. She cried the entire drive home. Yes, she did. She started learning about boundaries. Eventually, Elena made a difficult decision. She took a break from dating. No relationship hopping, no emotional distractions, no filling the silence with romantic chaos. Just her. Thank you. Thank you, alternate account. At first, the quiet was unbearable. Then it became medicine. She learned what food she actually liked, what music soothed her nervous system, how to sit with loneliness without turning it into an emergency. She began going out with friends again. The first few times were uncomfortable. Her anxiety still tagged along like an uninvited guest. But slowly, she stopped checking her phone every 5 minutes. She laughed more and breathed deeper, stayed longer. For the first time in years, she was not organizing her existence around someone else's emotional weather. Meanwhile, across town, Marcus sat in a very different kind of discomfort. His wife Anna depended on him for nearly everything. At first, it made him feel needed, important, and useful. Thank you, Ketan Patel. But over time, it became suffocating, like was said earlier. Oh, Jack, John, you relate. I'm sorry, I was reading two things at one time. Yeah, thank you, John. But over time, it became suffocating. She asked him to make decisions she could clearly make herself, wanted constant reassurance. Looked to him for emotional regulation, approval, and direction. Marcus had started feeling less like a partner and more like a life support system. Maybe even like a parent taking care. When he brought this up to his mindset coach, he expected validation. Instead, he got a mirror. You're helping, the coach said, but you may also be unintentionally reinforcing helplessness. Marcus frowned at that. Okay. Marcus frowned at that. What does that mean when his coach told him that? And it means rescuing someone who can sometimes it can keep them small. When you keep rescuing people, you're telling them that they don't know how to do it, that they're not that they can't figure it out. So that sentence irritated him enough to know that it was true. He knew that was true. His coach began teaching him something unfamiliar: loving boundaries. Not punishment, not withdrawal, and not control. Just clarity. The next time Anna asked him to handle something she was fully capable of doing herself, he smiled warmly. I know you can do this. She stared at him frustrated. But it's easier for you to do it. I understand, he said calmly, and I still believe you can handle it. She was annoyed, then angry, and then anxious. Marcus wanted desperately to cave. He wanted to give in, but he stayed steady, patient, warm, consistent, and over time, something surprising happened. Anna started doing more. Small things at first, making her own appointments, handling errands, speaking up more confidently, making decisions without immediately outsourcing them to Marcus. And with each new act of independence, she stood a little taller. Her confidence was not given to her, it was built. And Marcus changed too. He learned that boundaries were not rejection, they were respect. He stopped confusing love with overfunctioning, stopped controlling under the disguise of helping, learned patience without managing, support without rescuing, presence without over responsibility. Months later, here we go back to Elena. Elena sat outside again under another full moon. Same sky, different woman. Her hands rested on her lap now. No clenched fist, no desperate bargains with the universe. Just breath, stillness, a quieter nervous system. She looked up and smiled, not because she was suddenly perfect, not because fear had disappeared completely, but because she no longer believed fear was her identity. She understood something now that had once felt impossible. Freedom was not leaving herself behind to keep love. Freedom was finally coming home to herself. And somewhere in that return, love itself became less about dependency and more about two people learning how to stand beside one another without disappearing. Hey, Robbie, I'm glad you made it back. I got to finish the story. What happened was I apparently lost internet connection. And when I touched the screen to tell the internet to go on to the data, to use the data, to use the other Wi-Fi, well, I apparently lost sound again because we know I can't touch the screen without the sound going out. So that's what happened. After healing, life can be truly appreciated like a fine wine. I'm going to try my best to breathe it in. We are going to breathe. You ready to breathe, Robbie? This will be a short video. This is only going to be about 20 minutes. So I encourage you, if you missed this, and I apologize, Robbie, that you'll come back and watch this. So the word that we're going to breathe in, Travis Brush, will be freedom. Breathing in that emotional freedom. And, you know, sometimes we do emotional freedom. Thank you, Robbie. I appreciate it. We do that emotional freedom technique, which is the EFT, and that's tapping, but we're not doing that today. Grinch hates tapping. Grinch loves the breathing. So, hello, Hamzi Abnazar. I'm glad that you're here. We're about to do the breathing, and then I'm going to go make lunch for Grinch and I. How about that? And I hope that you all will have a super Sunday. Oh, the bird's word. Well, the bird only whistles "I love you" and a few other things. So we're going to breathe in freedom, and then hold that if you can for 4 counts, but just do your best. And then gently release out of your mouth. We're only doing that 5 times, but I want you to feel how you become regenerated and regulated. That regulates your nervous system. Sometimes we don't realize we're not breathing when we're in our anxiety. They always recommend breathing for anxiety because we're trying to live the future from the past a lot of times. And so just being here now, I had to learn to breathe too, darlings. I did. When I went to therapy, she's like, breathe, Stacy. You're safe right now. So breathing right now in this moment, that regulation helps you to feel safe. So we're breathing in freedom, okay? All right. All right, Travis. I hope you have a beautiful Sunday too. Yes, I'm glad that you noticed that, John. So hopefully this breathing will help you. I encourage my clients to try it, set your phone to breathe, these 5 minutes for 3 times a day or something. Okay, thank you, Gabrielle Zimmern. Good luck, and that's okay. Not everybody needs to be a psychologist. I'm a coach, and I hope you have a good day. We're about to do some breathing, okay? Here we grow. Here we grow. So let's just take that deep breath in, that freedom, okay? Let's just breathe in that freedom and then release anything that we think we got to do or have to do just today, just for 5 minutes or so. We're only going to breathe 5 breaths. So here we grow. Here we grow, y'all. Thank you for the hearts. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. And release. Breathe in. Hold it. And release. Breathe. Hold it. Release. Just 2 more. Breathe. Hold it. Release. Last one. Breathe in. Hold it. And release. All right. Thank you, Robbie. Today was really good, or as a little bit for many of us, especially me. What missed doesn't matter. I will watch again. Thank you very much, Robbie. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Kim. I think you're the one who did the hearts. Thank you, Kim, for hearts, if you're still here. Thank you so much, John London. I hope to see you again on here. So you are very welcome. I hope I'll see you again. I'll be back on here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. Gabrielle Zimmern. What I meant is that you're a genuine mental health specialist. This channel deserves a lot more traffic and attention. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Gabrielle. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. John, you are very welcome. You are very welcome. Tenmei. Hello, Tenmei from Berlin. I hope that you'll subscribe to this channel and re-watch the video. I'm about to get off of here. We had story time and did some breathing. And I would like to, well, I'm glad you found me here, Tenmei. Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much, darling. I look forward to seeing you later this week, okay? It was about codependency on the first live, so if you'll subscribe, you can see those. That one will take a while to come up because it was actually an hour and a half long. Then I got interrupted with the Wi-Fi, lost Wi-Fi, and then I had to get back on here. And the story time one is going to be about 25 minutes. You are very welcome, Robbie. Thank you. Much love to you from Grinch and I. John, I've got my notifications. Yes. All right, John London. I appreciate that. So thank y'all so much. I'd come on here 10 May. I'll be on here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to talk about next week the ACEs with addiction recovery. And I'm not just talking about drug addiction or alcohol addiction. There's food, there's all kinds of addictions. There's a lot more people addicted to things than realize that they are, because there's also transference of addiction. So sometimes people are addicted to food, and when they get over the food addiction, it may be something else, because what this channel is about is us to feel comfortable in our own skin from within. And people usually reach for addictions because of the discomfort in their central nervous system being dysregulated. Thank you so much, Tanmay. I appreciate you. Have a lovely day, John London. God bless you too. And thank you so much, Jadula and Sevi Ballesteros. I hope to see y'all tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you so much, Robbie, Kim. I appreciate y'all, and anyone else who's here. If I missed your name, John London, I already said, yeah, 10 May. Thank you for 7. I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow night. All right. Bye.